Open things up, get a little more elbow room.
You copy me?
No, yeah, we've been there.
My license has said if you have an alternative A and B plan there.
Well, every other night the Collins Collectors Association runs a net, Rob. They run it on 3805 on sideband. So that was my argument to him. Well, you know, you want to do it on AM, you already got an established net frequency, do it there. But no, he had to be in the AM window.
Yeah, somebody always wants to piss in somebody's backyard.
You know, I'm sure he's getting torn up by us and Bob, and he's going to have a heck of a time. But so, anyway, I guess, like the old man said, that's why you got to do a lot of things you got to do because of the creeps in the world, because somebody went ahead before us and screwed it up.
And Frank, thanks for the signal reports when I was playing with mobile antennas the other day. That helped. It added a lot to the research.
Yeah, any time. You know, sometimes you just have to be real methodical like that and take some time to do what you got to do, and I'm glad you were able to do what you had to.
Yeah, it was worth it. In the end, it was 10 dB between the ham stick and the best I have.
Yeah, well, and now you have no, now you don't have to wonder. Yeah, the ham stick, I'll tell you, they're pretty good performers.
Yeah, 40 meters and up, they're quite good, but I wanted to do the test on 75 because this part of the sunspot cycle, this is where I'm doing all of my mobile operation. And that was an eye-opener. I'm going to do another round with the antennas I use for 40 in a couple weeks.
There you go. Be back. Got to run down the hall. W2SDR.
Okay.
All righty then.
Good evening, I'm back. Okay.
Oh, boy, I'm trying to adjust my carrier power. Good evening, George. W2JBL.
Good evening once again, George. MMR. I'll be right back. Here, you gotta get a little snack. I'm starving. It's too late to start dinner. Someone's gonna grab a fatty snack. No ice cream, though. W3MMR.
What? No ice cream? Perry, you're letting us down.
I'm all out, man, and I'm trying, I've been eating so much ice cream, I'm starting to get sick of it, which I'm kind of happy about. I purposely drove to the grocery store today, man. I was thinking about it, and it's like the magnetic pull of St. But I went against it. Went against the grain, man. So, no ice cream in the freezer for me.
Ice Cream Anonymous.
I'm telling you, man, it's about to be called IA. Yeah, IA.
There goes my Mr. Softness just dropped.
That's the thing when you go to these counseling meetings. They have you introduce yourself, so the person in charge says, "Oh, we have a new member tonight who's joining our group. Let's make them all feel welcome. Stand up and announce yourself." So that's when you get up and you look at the crowd and say, "Hi, my name is Perry," and then everyone at the same time goes,
What kind of group?
"Oh, I got a net going on 3880 and hurt."
How's your DIY there, Ralphie?
There he goes. Hey, you got the K7DY right away. I said, no, I'm on the 80.
It's still running 30 watts.
Yeah, you know what?
Listen, I got a punch today.
Double thinking myself. I'm like, I'm not that stupid. That stupid.
The tie rod sleeves were sticking out of the box when the guy dropped it at my door. I thought of you and the DIY.
I'm stupid, Rob, but I'm not that stupid.
Did you put that on 160 and test it?
Yes, I already did. Everything panned out good. Everything is copacetic. That's the first thing I did. Yeah, it came from a slow boat in China there, but anyway, so. But I have an UPS account, so now all my stuff just goes to the UPS store. So now if I have a package that has to be signed for, don't worry about it. It goes to the UPS store, I go pick it up there and sign for it there.
Yep, that's a nice service. I used that when I lived in Brewster because the people on the other side of the two-family house I was in were freaking criminals. And they were stealing my packages.
You're sounding good here.
I wish I had a UPS store near me. I usually just use Walgreens. You can get stuff sent there and pick it up.
Yeah, well, you can get your your blue tablets and your packages.
I thought that's what the wet box was for. Hey now.
Wait a minute. That's in Mexico. Oh, wet box. Excuse me.
I don't know. I think I missed that whole part of the conversation, but I heard somebody say it, so I had to repeat it.
You can catch it on the web, what is it, the 24-hour air checker of 3885 in case you missed it. You've got 24 hours worth of recording you can go through.
Oh, boy. I'm not sure if I really want to go and look through that. I kind of like the mystery.
That's crazy. Are you serious, Clark and Company? Somebody is recording this frequency 24/7 and putting it on YouTube? I heard something about that the other day.
I will bring it up in a moment. Yes, I should put a direct link to it out there, but if you go to YouTube and you do a search for W2PHL Papa Hotel Lima, you'll see 3885 live. And if you tap on that, it's what's going on right at this moment, and then if you take the scroll bar and you go back, you can go back 24 hours. So, in case you missed all...
the multi-Omax. What a joyful old radio that takes me back. Just as an aside...
Well, you can hear all the fun and excitement all over again.
I'd rather wake up with a woman than insomnia.
What about waking up at the crack of dawn?
Oh, I remember.
In the crack of dawn, yes.
I remember Dawn. She worked at Harry O's club over by the scrap metal yard in Stamford. What a girl.
What are you doing hanging out on Selleck Street?
Well, I was at Harry O's.
I worked, my father worked in the machine shop that's butted right up against that building there. I forget what was before that. They used to all go there. Yeah. That was right next door where I worked there, the machine shop.
Wow. Small world. I wonder if that place is still there.
The machine shop? Yeah.
No, Harry O's.
Yeah, that too.
Oh, yes, with the blessing of the Stamford police.
Who do you think the Patriots were?
I know. I'll tell you a funny story. I pulled in there one night with a friend, drunk as a skunk. I let my friend drive because I was too drunk. And I'm driving. I had a Chevy Caprice unmarked at that point, and it had like 5 antennas on it. It was very official looking. I didn't think what would happen if you pulled into and I did think about it. It was the first time I went to the place. Pulled in the parking lot of a strip club that has highly questionable activities going on inside. And 2 guys in plaid get out of a crown. 2 Irish looking guys, get out of this, Caprice with the antennas and the spotlight. And at that point, I realized we're probably not going to get into the door. No, I was totally wrong. They assumed we were on a job. We got royal treatment. Caprice with the antennas and the spotlight. And at that point, I realized we're probably going to get into the door. No, that was totally wrong.
Are you stereotyping police car Irish?
What?
You stereotyping a police unit and an Irish guy.
I'm Scots-Irish. I can stereotype myself.
I know you drink plenty of scotch.
No, I don't. Just beer. That's the German part of me. But yeah, that was a hell of a night, and that's the night I met Dawn. Getting back to Dawn.
Rule number one, my father says when I was old enough to go actually drinking in a bar, he says, remember, look for the ugliest woman in the bar, the ugliest woman. Find out, remember that woman. And when she starts looking good, it's time to go home. So he says, because you don't want to end up going home with her and wake up in the morning and do the coyote. What's the coyote, Dad? You know what's a coyote do when his leg is in a trap? He chews it off. Well, you don't want to wake up in the morning and she's laying on, her head's laying on your arm there, and you got to try to pull it out of there. So go home, save yourself some trouble, but do not stop at another bar on the way home. I says, why? He says, because you walk in, everything looks good.
The key is go ugly early.
Yep, go ugly early and get right to it. Not working out.
Yep, go ugly early.
You want to slide down to 82 then?
They went down one. They're down on 79.
The latest signal tells us to go narrow stuff up. I think he needs to put a 0.1 microfarad condenser across his audio.
Now they moved down to 79.
Having had contact with this individual in the past, Clark, I found out some things about him. I think he used to be on his QRZ. It's probably still on his QRZ page. He's all hopped up about his Ferrari, which he's leasing or renting, and his wife is like apparently a victim of major plastic surgery.
Oh, I've seen that one.
She sounds like a handful. But, I mean, he's nice enough, but what do you do when you go to a QSO that's been going on for a couple of hours and say, by the way, I'm going to fire up 5 kilohertz below you? I mean, it kind of makes a question mark show up.
There should be no question mark at all. There certainly isn't in his mind. They are important. It's the Collins Collectors Association. First Wednesday night, man. That trumps anything we can do on here. Yet we have multiple websites and followers, and we're on YouTube and all of that kind of stuff. I think we win the popularity contest.
Hey, Phil's streaming us live now.
Well, yeah, and you can go back and get anything from the past 24 hours. You can listen to this entire 3880, 3885 battle at your leisure for the next day.
You know, I think can you do screen grabs or download it?
Yeah, because it's basically a streaming YouTube channel, and for the video, I think, is that right? I don't really look at the video. I just put the audio on and listen to it. I think it's his SDR that's there, audio and video.
Well, I have a YouTube. It's actually I paid for it. The free version was good. The paid version is much better. The YouTube downloader, it downloads and converts to either MP4 if you want video, or if you just want to save the audio, it'll download it and convert it to MP3 in mere seconds. I love it.
Yeah, I pay for YouTube as well. It's well worth the $10 a month or whatever it is. But Clark, yeah, he uses his SDR console or whatever. And then live streamed it. He used to do it daily and then put up each day and have it archived, but I think he deleted all of them, and I don't think he has any archived days on there anymore.
No, but you've got 24 hours to go back and grab something. So if all of a sudden, I drop the F-bomb and you were like, did he really say that? Well, you've got a whole day to find out.
Yeah, using what you call it there, SDR Play 2 with console version 3.14.
Speaking of going back 24 hours, I'm going back to the refrigerator to get another beer. This is W2JBL.
All right, here, Chris. 12 hours, actually, Clark.
Really? So where do the other 12 hours go if it's a continuous stream?
I don't know. I'm on air now, and I have it live. And if I drag back, as far as I can drag back is 11 hours, 59 minutes, and 54 seconds.
All right. I have to adjust my promo for that, but do you realize 3885 is the only ham radio frequency that has not one but two dedicated SDRs that when you go to them, they automatically land you on this frequency with two chat boxes, and now, as you're pointing out, a 12-hour air checker that's running 24/7. That's pretty amazing.
It's pretty crazy is what it is. I guess we're popular. Well, we're not popular. The frequency's popular.
Brought to you by popular demand.
Did a lot of setting up because of what was going on this frequency. So apparently, yeah, it's all working out. That's why this is an amazing frequency to be on. This is totally ham radio meets social networking. They're in bed together with the lights off.
That's because you picked up an ugly girl when you were drinking.
Make that message board, but I never did. His Mike was going to make it. And then I lost all, ambition to do it. I'm almost 35 over at Phil's house. Man, look at me go. Maybe I'll get remotivated to do that again.
Yeah, and hi to KAQ. I forget your call sign, but anyway, he said hi earlier. There's just so many chat boxes. I mentioned to Mike FEF that there was some way to create a website where we could take the chat boxes from both receivers and have them both displayed. Can you imagine that? Or even better, merged? Wow. So whichever chat box you type into, it gets merged into one display and have the access to the 12-hour recorder there as well. You just click a button, you can download all 12 hours on a moment's notice and then, well, entertain yourself.
This is like the BBS boards.
Right. That's what I was going to do, Rob. That's what I had originally made was a BBS board, and then I stopped because Mike said he was going to head it up, and he bought like 5 or 6 different URLs. Remember he bought Extreme AM or whatever it is, or AM Madness. He bought that URL that night and a whole bunch of other ones. I gave up, and I let him do it. But then that was the one night, and then it kind of went away.
Didn't he buy alfshouse.com?
He bought a lot of different URLs that night. I'll be right back. I gotta grab my healthy TV dinner, W3MMR.
W2JBL, back with my healthy beer. Clark, I believe he bought Alf's House and 3885.com and all the good ones.
Wow, he could get a lot of money for those if someone really wanted one.
Well, he said he was holding them, for safekeeping for us.
Hey, we lucked out. The storm just missing us. It's down below us now.
That's weird, Rob. I'm not getting any static from it or anything.
So it's not a lightning storm.
It's just regular rain there and stuff like that. It's got some hot spots with no lightning coming off it right now. So it's just missing us below there. So anyway, Clark, I ordered the cable, the wire for the radials today. Should be in here, I think, Friday or so.
You sent me a blurt about 600 ohm twin lead. I didn't understand that.
What's that, Clark?
Yeah, I said, well, I'll talk to you about it later. I'll talk to you about it off the air there. So you got to get blurt fixed for me for Android, because I can't switch over to an iPhone right now because I got into a 2-year contract with the phone I got now. Otherwise, I would switch over.
Well, you're not supposed to have to switch phones for this. Yes, I get it. Thank you.
Well, I'd rather switch than fight nowadays. What cigarette was that? It was a cigarette. I'd rather fight than switch.
They make 600 ohm twin lead. You don't have to make it yourself.
Yeah, right. So, Rob, that's part of what I didn't understand. You said 600 ohm twin lead. Really? That would be like 4-inch separation between the contact, between the wires.
That's what we'll use.
Well, I'm using 600 ohm ladder line.
ladder line has black plastic insulation with holes stamped on it. It's a manufactured product.
Yeah, it's not. That's just semantics. It's balanced line. It's all balanced line.
Exactly. If there's just spreaders on it and it's not the black plastic stuff, it's commonly referred to as open wire line or balanced line, and frequently added the word homebrew.
All of this is correct. The thing that I'm wondering about is, Rob, you said 600 ohm. How wide is this?
It's the 4-inch spacers. It's the stuff that Bill gave you that you brought down from me.
Okay, so where'd you get that?
I got it from Keep America Great. Bill, you ran into him one time, I guess, when you picked up the transmitter with Blaine there. He had a roll of it, and he said, send it down to Rob.
Oh, this is from a long time ago. Oh, fine. So this is 600 ohm, and it's a ladder line. All right, there you go. And how long is it?
I don't know. I didn't roll it out.
Well, what do you want to do with it?
I don't know. Will it match if I threw it up on the dipole there and fed the rest with 400 ohm, or it's not going to match right?
Yes, that will work fine, and it will help you a lot.
What's the spacing on yours, Perry? Like 3 inches?
I think it's 4. I think.
Yeah, Rob, when I lived in Brewster, I had, I'm going to say 100 feet of 4-inch spaced open wire line. Came straight down from the antenna, ran on driveway marker poles about 50 feet along the side of my backyard, where it connected to a hunk of 450 ohm black plastic ladder line. And it worked fine. There's no issues whatsoever.
3.5 inches.
Okay, and he says that's 600.
Well, this is not important.
Oh no, it's just nominal values.
That's the open ladder line without the windows.
It's 604. TV dinner.
Did you get the breaded apple pie in the center on the top?
Oh, I love that.
No, man. Mine doesn't come with a dessert. It's chicken fried chicken. It's like chicken and breaded, or it's supposed to be chicken, breaded chicken, and like this gravy with mashed potatoes and corn, and I put a little bit of Old Bay on top of everything.
You know the thing about corn?
What's that?
Eat it today, see it tomorrow.
Political posts much either, Perry, but there's one here with a picture of Bernie Sanders, and it says, "Private insurance saved my life. Alex switched to socialized medicine."
And I heard you, Rob. See it today, see it tomorrow.
Eat it today,
God,
see it tomorrow.
Rob is strapping me now?
Yeah. You guys are right there, neck and neck, but I was able to make out what he said. Excuse me, eat it today, see it tomorrow. I'm not an inspector.
I told my daughter that when she was young, she was eating corn. She said, "Pops," I says, "I'm eating all my corn." I said, "Good girl, sir." I said, "Just remember, eat today, see tomorrow." My ex-wife looked at me, and sure enough, the next morning she's, learning potty train. She comes running out. Look, you're right.
The joys of kids.
Well, up in Rob, up in the neck of the woods where my father's side of the family, comes from, northern New York, the people on the farm people in particular had it was a ritual, and it would usually come around the fall solstice, and they called it a corn feast, and it was like you put down as much corn as you can with the idea of clearing the crud out of your body over the next 12 hours or so.
And went up. I never heard that, but my doctor says that is a way you can, see how your digestive system and, what you've ate there and things moving on there and stuff like that. And, you know, we said, well, you know, if you ate it the night before and usually the next morning or so in that time, you know, most of the time if everything's cleared or whatever and it's like that, you can judge it, you know, and then, you know, like you ate it and then 4 days later you see it and, well, there's definitely something wrong.
Geez, all my doctor said was Mylanta.
You learn something every night on this frequency.
Well, Clark's told his poop doesn't stink and it doesn't have corn in it.
I have it on letterhead from Interstate Septic that my stuff doesn't stink.
And corn free.
No carrots from the Dinty Moor.
They didn't go into that kind of detail, but I do have a signed letter from a...
All right, Cecil in Norfolk. What are you running, my friend?
Well, I'm not running a night.
Because the septic tank company's right up the street.
Boy, somebody's harassing 3880 with tone.
Yeah, they're like running a two-tone test down there.
Yeah, it's like triangle wave.
Going all the way past 890.
Guys, they get jammed almost every month they come on here.
I don't know, Eddie. The guy still has the audacity to come up here and do what he does. You would think he would learn. I mean, like you said, Chris, they already have their own dedicated frequency down at around 3808 or something you said. And there's no specific, and they're in the rules, it doesn't say you have to operate AM up here. You can operate AM anywhere in the phone portion of the band, so. Excuse me. Some people just don't get it.
Perry, I'll meet you down on 3406.
3406?
Are you sure your dipole is resonant there?
Yeah, I got a tuner. And that's you get a tuner and 602 ohm line.
Well, why don't we make it 3330?
That's right.
Well, at least you'd never not know what time it is.
Ladder line.
Choo-choo.
What we have here is a failure to communicate. To some people, a failure to communicate. The millionaires and the billionaires.
I get concerned when there's a failure to fornicate.
Yeah, but poor Sanders, he got a heart thing. He's got a heart thing going on. The guy is just shameless. He's too old, but he just got out of the hospital with those stents put in for chest pain.
Oh, a heart thing. I thought you said, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, I don't wish anybody an ill health, but I just think the guy's too old. I hate to see a president, you know, pass away in office.
Yeah, I feel sorry for the guy too. Nobody deserves that, but why didn't he go to Cuba or Canada for his treatment? I wonder.
Well, on the other side of the coin, I feel real lucky that I can afford health insurance. It's just not the case for lots of folks in the country.
Yeah, I'm one of those folks.
Well, all our political people are getting it for free, and we have to pay for it. And then if you don't get it, you're penalized.
Yeah, it's not good here in New York, Frank. I can only get insurance through the state dispensary, and it's not insurance, it's extortion. But, I'm fine. I don't need to go on about that. But yeah, poor Bernie.
Well, Chris, after your retirement, weren't you able to stay on with the Cobra plan for him?
Don't know. I'm drawing a blank on that one, Dave, but no, Alf, I couldn't afford the Cobra. I have health insurance now. It's a bit of a burden, but I was just pissed that you can't get private insurance. You can only go through the state here in New York State. But I'm hoping my friend Donald J. Trump fixes that.
Yeah, me too. My health insurance card is Visa.
Doesn't that suck when you have to pay to get out of the gate?
Who's got an SDR and see what's going on here? This is jamming on the 880.
Yeah, I'm looking at it here.
Down there is what's
very
happening.
creative.
Those guys are getting brutalized.
It's an artwork.
Another black eye for a...
Looks pretty cool.
Sounds like some AM are doing the jamming.
It's like the Super Bowl, Perry.
Yeah, really. He's going on up to 27.025, and it might be even better.
Super Bowl.
Speaking of the Super Bowl, this is W2JBL.
Yeah, W2SDR.
N1ALF. W3MMR.
Yeah, from New England. W2SDR. SDR.
My interpretation of the rules are that your call sign is supposed to be part of a legitimate transmission. So this is considered a legitimate transmission and not for the sole purpose of identifying N1BCG.
That's a matter of opinion.
I don't know. It's kind of written right there.
Beginning and end of each series of transmissions.
10 minutes.
Who cares?
In recent years, Timtron has been cited for not identifying.
Yeah, but the thing is if you're in a QSO and you don't talk for 20 minutes, you're not obligated to transmit. You're not obligated to give your ID until you transmit again. It just means that transmission you make normally after the 10-minute mark has to have an ID in it. It doesn't mean you have to key up every 10 minutes and give your call sign.
Hey, Clark, I got an OO email, and get this, okay? If you don't transmit for 20 minutes and you didn't sign out, you're in violation. If you transmit again, okay, you can get cited for not signing out, or you can get cited for not identifying every 10 minutes. So there's no way out of that conundrum.
Oh, Frank, I believe that happened. That person's wrong. That's not how the rules are written.
Well, you have to identify every 10 minutes, and you have to identify when you sign out. And if you don't sign out and don't identify every 10 minutes, you're in violation.
No, because the only reason for identifying is when you're transmitting. That person who cited you has got it backwards. You're supposed to identify when you're transmitting, not transmit to identify. Yeah, it's backwards.
Well, you'd have to show me that in Part 97 where it says you have to be in the midst of a transmission to identify. I only read it as you have to identify every 10 minutes and you have to sign out.
No, the reason for the every 10 minutes is if you transmit continuously, because if you go back to like the 1950s before PTT was invented, get it? When people just had a plate on-off switch, they would do the round table thing, that we all do. They would go plates on. Oh, that good. Buzzard for like 15 minutes, and the rules were designed to address that no more than 10 minutes would go by in a contiguous transmission that you would be not identifying. But there's no law that says you actually have to key up and identify. So even the old Heathkit, those multi-purpose things, phone patch, SWR meter, and identify lights, those weren't saying you now have to key up and identify, because if you're not transmitting, there's no reason for you to be identified. People have got this all wrong. It's for people who are listening, trying to say, who is this transmission attributed to? If you're not transmitting, there's no need to identify.
It's Clark's World.
I've got Part 97 in front of me here, and it says nothing like that.
Yeah, but say what it says. When you first get on a frequency, you don't have to give your call sign for 10 minutes. It's only after 10 minutes that you have to start identifying. And then after that, it's every 10 minutes, and then at the conclusion of your transmission. That doesn't mean at the conclusion of what you're saying, and you're saying at the conclusion of when you're on in that QSO.